Welcome back to another edition of the Walker Valley Football Coaches Show. I'm Andy Morris, joined along, as always, with Jacob Mason. And we've got some special guests today to start the first segment of the show. We've got quarterback Evan Swartzel here and defensive end Connor Phillips. So, first of all, guys, thank you for coming today. Glad to have you here with us. Jacob, I'm going to let you start with some questions.
All right, Connor, I'm going to put you on the hot seat. First question. Your mom messaged in on Facebook on Friday night. We were talking about the intensity of what you play at. We wondered what your Saturday routine was. So I'm going to let you defend yourself. What is your Saturday routine? And then I'm going to tell you what she said.
My Saturday routine?
Yeah.
Take a cold shower.
Okay.
A little ice bath.
Okay.
Chill out for the rest of the day. Have some beverages. And just sit down and chill.
So mom says that you do your ice, but then you whine the whole day, and then if your little sister touches you, it's like you start crying. So
that's
mom being mom, isn't it?
That's mom being mom at all.
All right. On a serious note, you're a very intense player. You play with a lot of passion. You had a blocked field goal, but then you were up 35, and I saw you dive out again, trying to get a second block of the game. You play every snap like it's the state championship game. Kind of talk about your mentality and how that also is the mentality of the Walker Valley defense.
I just kind of like to set the tone right when we start on defense. That's why I love starting on defense first. As I come up and talk to my guys, we're like, let's set the tone quick. Let's show them who's here right now. And then when I saw that punt opportunity, I'm like, I'm going to go set it right here. I already got him on 3 and out. Let's go block it. Let's go get a score on defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And, talk about what's your mindset with the amount of chaos. We talk about all the time on the radio show, the amount of chaos that you cause because you're playing full speed. Kind of just talk about what that brings to the defense, not only with getting penalty yards and getting stoppages, all that kind of stuff, but just talk about what that does for your team and how it's helped the defense this year.
I think it helps it a lot. Just how it kind of like momentum. They see me play hard, makes everybody. Same with if I see Jacob, I see our leaders, I see our whole D line play. It fires everybody up. So when someone plays like that, everybody starts to play like that.
Yeah, you definitely bring the energy on the defensive side of the ball, and I want to kind of talk about after the whistle. There's numerous times where Jacob and I will talk about, we see you standing, clapping, and honestly, just getting in guys' heads, and it works every Friday night. We see guys, you're giving them fits between whistles, then after the whistle, they're getting flustered because you're just always high energy the whole time, and we see that is kind of contagious to guys like Hollingsworth and Shant's on the other end. And just talk about how does that translate? Do you guys practice that way? Do you prep that way? I know Coach Akins has said before that sometimes he has to pull you out of practice so he can get a decent look offensively.
Yeah, that's just how we are. That's how the whole D-line is. That's how our whole defense is. We're just a bunch of dogs out there, and we get in your head. We're going to let you know about it. So when I'm fighting, when a running back, he's trying to block late, I'm going to let him know I'm there. And when he hits me, get another flag. That's just how it is.
That's awesome. So, Evan, let's go ahead and jump in offensive side of the ball. And we can talk about some punting, too, if you want here in a little bit. You do a great job punting the football as well. Specifically, this is Rhea County week. Last week, going back to the Ottawa game, didn't get to play a full game, but Jacob and I enjoyed seeing you offensively really get to kind of throw the ball around a little bit and kind of balance out run game, pass game more so. So, talking about Ottawa specifically, how did you feel during the first half of that game?
I was just, got a quick few completions, threw it around and then built confidence off that. And then I think, when CP said, once you show that you're confident, everybody around you is going to play confident. And so just standing in there, trusting my offensive line, a lot of times I struggle with dropping my eyes, but on Friday I was just staying in the pocket and delivering. It was just, Coach said he was going to give me the ball, and I just had to, capitalize every time I got it. So
okay, I'm really going to put you on the spot right now. Coach Akins' play calling.
Yeah.
It seems like he puts you in a position to be successful every Friday night. I know there's sometimes where you want to do more and you'd like to do more, but from what Coach Akins is calling, I feel like, offensively speaking, that it's Evan's offense and the team goes as you go.
Right. I just trust Coach Akins. We have conversations about it.
That's the right answer, by the way.
Yes, sir. And I would say that if he's not in the room, that's just, he's my guy. And, I trust him like he trusts me. If I get flustered, he calms me down if he gets flustered. I hope I do the same. And it's just knowing that I trust him with whatever he calls, and I just got to go out there and manage everything.
Being the quarterback, this is the last thing I got for you offensively. Talk about your offensive line a little bit.
They're dudes. They're just mean. That stereotypical offensive line. They whoop us in practice, so we get the best look possible throughout the week. So when it's on Friday, we get to go be the bullies. So there's some dudes. We have depth this year, so we don't. Some guys struggling. We just pull them out and throw another one back in there and let it ride. But I trust those guys. We go out to eat. We talk.
Throw some names out there. For
I love the
listeners.
Kelly twins, but Barry, that's my dude. Like, he's always checking up on me. I mean, all of them. It's hard to, all of them.
Yeah.
Luke and Riley and Farley, all of them. It's, it's tough to say one guy, but I would say Barry definitely commands them up front, and he sets them straight.
Yeah, so, year one, we thought you had a great year as the quarterback position, but year two, we've seen confidence and swagger out of you. Just talk about the difference between year one in this offense and how you feel in year two in this offense.
Right. I feel like as a team, like Eli Denton was, the face of the program, and I feel like that's not necessarily shifted to me, but I definitely feel like I've, got that role now, being the quarterback and being a senior leader, and just having that second year of I've seen this game speed and, just developed in the weight room. I've developed in just the game of football. Me and Coach Akins, we talked protection. Why am I, we would go pull up clips from last year, why I would run around like I was running from ghosts, and just trusting that, those guys are going to protect me. And so it's, just being me. Coach Akins is a guy, he's got swagger, and I try to, I'm sure if he was out there, he'd be dancing around. And so I try to, dance around and let them know when we're successful.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all joining us today. Again, last week, Ottawa game, Connor, defensive player of the game. That Jacob and I named you that. Only getting to play a half. Again, the final from Ottawa was 35-0. The lights went out on us. Didn't get to play the whole game, unfortunately. But back into region play this week against Rhea County. You guys feeling good going into Rhea County?
I feel great.
Awesome. That's what we like to hear. Well, guys, we appreciate you joining us. So that'll be the first segment of the Walker Valley Football Coaches Show, Rhea County Week. When we come back, Walker Valley head football coach Drew Akins. Welcome back to the Walker Valley Football Coaches Show, sponsored all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They are open to the public. I'm Andy Morris, along with Jacob Mason, and your head football coach, Drew Akins. Coach, glad you could join us again. Great interview there with CP and Evan. They did a great job.
They did a really good job, man. I'm proud of them. It's one thing I've tried to instill in our guys over the last few years. Obviously, I'm super comfortable up here doing this, right? But I want our guys to be comfortable doing this. I don't want our guys to get up and it sound weird or and the breaks in communication. So that's something we've talked a lot about. Hey, man, come in here with an idea of what you want to say, and then work questions to those ideas. And they did a really good job. Really proud of them. So we're teaching them stuff on the field and off the field.
Absolutely. I think Mr. Evers might have a couple guys he needs to get in the studio and do some stuff with. But so real quick, once again, it is Rhea County week. Mm-hmm. But before we dive into Rhea County, we're going to recap what happened to Ottawa. Obviously, a little bit shortened of a game due to the lights. We'll let you talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I really hate what ended up happening. Obviously, I love that we won, and I love that we made the decision really easy. Because we got to halftime, or got to 3 minutes and 30. The transformer blows, right? And when the transformer blew, it was like, first of all, what was that? Because there was some ideas that, like, maybe this was something a little more violent. We figured out pretty quick it was the transformer with the lights being shut off as well. So the initial decision was like, hey, let's go to halftime and let's just see what happened. Like, let's see where we are time-wise. Because we didn't want to go out and just say, hey, let's cancel it, we're done, we'll come back to it. Like, that just seems silly. So let's find out some more information. And once we get that information, we can make an educated decision. They did the halftime, which I thought was great.
They did a
really good job with a bad situation of coming back and figuring out a way to do that. That will be memorable for those kids.
For those that don't know, they pulled the Corvettes that were bringing out the homecoming queen candidates and the escorts, and they faced the headlights toward the football field, and they went on with their ceremonies.
Yeah, did a great job. That was really good thinking on your feet. And the Corvettes are always cool. You know, back when I was there, I would always walk by. And,
We do Mustangs here, though.
And look at it. Dude, the Mustangs are great, too. I think it's a great idea. But listen, you know, we went to halftime. They bypassed the transformer, and it blew again. And when it blew the second time, it's like, all right. That's probably it for tonight. That's all our trying. So it became, hey, what are we going to do here? I obviously wanted to make sure that we finished with a win. So it took both head coaches to agree to that. And luckily, again, it wasn't a 21-7 game. Our guys had came out and really dominated from the start, which allowed us to make a pretty easy decision that, hey, let's just go ahead and call it here. Let, you know, not have to go back on Saturday. I think if it's a 14-point game, rightfully so, we probably would have had to go back. So really proud of our guys for leaving no doubt there.
Yeah, it's it's tough not getting to get some guys playing time. You know, we talked about that on the radio show on Friday night, that you always, anytime that you have the chance to get guys reps, you want to do it. But with that being said, let's dive into my favorite segment. I love breaking down film, so if you ever want to just invite me to sit and watch, I'd love just to learn. So let's dive right on in.
Yeah, for sure. But as we transition, I agree. I hate it for our young guys.
Yeah.
I really did. We were going to get a lot of young guys playing time, especially Dosen.
Yeah.
I was really excited to see Dosen get to play. So that was the unfortunate part of it all. So we're going to start out with the block punt, guys. This is so each game we come in with a block. So we come in with a safe, we come in with a return, and we come in with a block. That's every single week. This is safe. So safe is like, hey, let's make sure they kick it. Let's make sure we catch it. There's not a whole lot of block going on, trying to go block it. There's not a whole lot of blocking for the returners here. This just, hey, let's let them punt it and you know, pressure it enough to where they have to punt it, and then let's make sure we catch it, and it's our ball at the end of this. CP had another idea. So you can see, so CP, let's see if we can get this working. So CP's right here. Obviously, he already talked about it. His number one thing is just effort. You know, he's got good size. He's got good speed, especially for a D-line. But his number one thing, without a doubt, is effort. So for him to see this and have this opportunity, you see kind of him lean. And when he made 74 miss, I think is where he felt, hey, like, I got a chance at this. So you see him lean inside, and then jump back outside. That's just that athleticism. And then I think he expected 33 to step down. And when 33 doesn't step down is where you really get a really clean picture of him coming through at the block. But again, man, that's just effort. Just incredible effort, individual effort by a kid. Really proud of him. This is a good view from the I thought we had the end zone shot as well. I may have turned that off.
Yeah, Connor kind of looked like a pinball the way he got back there.
Dude, he cracks me up, man. He's such a cool player to be around, and his effort is just always next level. Let's see if I guess I didn't have the end zone. I thought I had the end zone shot. So, anyways, we went down and scored immediately. He got down to the 3-yard line. We score immediately. First play of the game. Malachi Martin dives in. And I felt really good at this point, Jacob, to defensive conversation. I was really concerned going in. I thought these guys right here, so, you know, I'm going to do a little spot like this cat, this one, number 58, number 92, number 7, number 6. These guys had me kind of spooked. Honestly, I think a couple things. One, I think J.D. Dunbar does a really good job. So his you know, him coordinated defense always kind of gets me in my mind and trying to make sure that I have adjustments because I know how good he is. But also these players had me in that where like they didn't have me like spooked is a funny word to use. But they had me knowing like we're gonna have to play a really good game.
Cautious.
Here. Yeah, well, they're big. For those that don't know, they were a very big physical defensive.
Yeah, and then guys, they hadn't given up a lot of points.
Yeah, and J.D. will mix it up as you said with some stunts and different things.
They had only given up 20 points. I think their highest game was 24 points, and you know they'd given up 19 and 4. Like keeping teams below 20 is a big deal, and they had done that pretty consistently. So I was a little concerned going in when I saw our defense on the first drive. our D-line kind of made a statement early. Connor Phillips made contact in the 5 yards in the backfield, and I really took a deep breath there. Like, okay, like they're not going to be able to block us tonight. So I feel a lot better about where we are at. Anyway, so defense goes back out after that first touchdown, gets a stop. They punt it to us, and we end up right here. Evan does a great job on this. So this is a little like counter look for us. We counter away from the Y-back, get a kick, and then get a wrap by the second guy. And what you see is, let me go to the end zone shot, or the drone shot, which is, again, guys, the best shot in football, right? You'll see when we go across, it just freezes those linebackers just enough. So what I want you to watch are these two guys, this one and this one. If they take off running immediately, getting guys to this block. So what we're doing is we're going to down block here. Tate's also going to down block to the backside. So if these two guys are scraping immediately, it becomes a problem with the play. So what we do this flash fake for is just to freeze them just a second. And you can see here, see that little freeze right there. And that allows Tate to get up to the linebacker. It makes him misfit. So when I say misfit, the ball's going out here. The ball's an outside run here. Well, there's no way he can go here and chase us down on that outside run, right? So by this little flash fake, we get him stepping, and now he's in the wrong gap. And if we get him in the wrong gap, we feel like we're pretty clean on the front side of this. So just to draw it up for you, if we were drawing this on the board, you get a down block, you get Tate on a down block, you get a pull and kick. Farley's going to handle the first thing backside. We're going to wrap, and then Luke's going to cut this backside 4-eye off. That's what it looks like on the board.
You're getting
right?
a 4-on-3 basically.
Yeah, so we're really overloading this side, and we're saying, hey, he's unblocked, but we're okay if he's unblocked because he's got to sort through all this mess, or he's got to go here and try to chase us down, and that's really tough, right?
What's the saying about pulling guards on defense?
Typically, you follow the pulling guard.
Yeah.
So like if you make it really easy and you don't flash this, it's called smoke and mirrors, right?
Yeah.
So this is a smoke and mirrors thing. We're smoking him across, trying to make your attention over here while we set up a play on this side. So that's the scheme that we want you to see. And obviously, we do a good job with the kick out there. That block was huge. And then we're getting around Riley, and he really has nobody to go to. Evan, then his athleticism takes over. He's able to make the safety miss and get to the edge and get a touchdown for us. So, big-time play. One of my favorite plays that we run. Evan scored on that. I think that's his third time this year that he scored. He scored against Notre Dame on the long run on this. He scored against Polk County on a short run with this, and then obviously scored on Ooltewah with that. So, really cool play. Here's the next one. We had run this earlier. Brady got hit, right? So if y'all remember, early in the game, we ran this exact same concept. We have an out cut right here. We're going to run vertical there, and then we got a crosser coming across. So that's the concept, and we're going to read corner to safety, okay? If the corner jumps it, we're going to find this guy. Oh, that's unfortunate. No, we're good. There it is. So if the corner jumps it, we're going to find the vertical. If the safety jumps the vertical, we can come back and find this. So that's kind of his progression on this. Hudson does a great job of getting outside release. Earlier in the game, we had run this, and we threw this. The corner sat and made hard contact with Brady on the outside. So that's typically where we tell Evan, hey, make sure we read it. And now you've seen it. Hey, you've seen it happen now. So now let's make an adjustment. So watch Evan here. Does a great job with the shoulder pump. When he does that shoulder pump, you can see, you can see the corner stop his feet. And when the corner stops his feet, he jumps up just a hair, which allows us to get behind. Again, that safety becomes the second read. But watch where the safety is. He's inside the hash. So, like, when we're talking about concepts, we're talking about coaching here. Hey, he's inside the hash right now. His ability to get from where he is outside the numbers in time is really going to be difficult. So Evan knows right now, hey, the safety's already, probably, I would say 6 to 8 yards inside the hash. The crosser's no longer part of this play. We're either throwing the out or we're throwing the vertical because the pre-snap look that we get. So great job by Evan with the pump fake and then getting a beautiful ball outside to Hudson. Protection-wise, it's just a full slide protection. Pretty easy job there. I like to see Barry be a little more firm there. You can kind of see this is just a gap protection. Really simple. It's not built to hold up. That's the problem with this protection. It's not built to hold up for 4 or 5 seconds like you see for these deep crossing routes. This is a quick protection. So I'd like to see him be a little more firm in that gap, but he gave us just enough time for Evan to make that throw. Really big-time throw. And then last couple of plays, this is really the last one I want to show you because this is a scheme thing. You know I like showing y'all scheme stuff, right? So this is a scheme thing that I want y'all to see. They threw flood a ton coming into this game. So we had film, they threw flood. So when I say flood, you're getting a vertical, you're getting a 10 to 12 yard out, and you're getting a quick out, right? You saw that all night. The quarterback's going to sprint to it, right? That was something you saw all week. So our coaches, our defensive staff, which does such a good job, put in kick this week. So when we go kick, Braxton, you're going to see, floats to the middle, and he's going to take that 10 to 12 yard route, right? Mason's going to go deep and get over top. He's played cover 3. Forte's going to roll to the middle and play cover 3, and then we're locked on the backside of this, okay? That allows this guy to jump the short now. So now we have 29 on the short, we have 2 on the intermediate, and we have 13 on the deep, right? So it's a really cool play, and it works exactly. We just timed it up. We call kick. They run flood. You see Braxton right on there, and he's able to make a break here. Man, I wish he would have finished this. He's 1 away from tying the all-time record, guys. And he's had a couple chances this year, and just it's been so close to being able to finish these. But what a cool break. But that's just a scheme thing. Is that not cool? Like how our defensive staff uses different coverages to kind of bait teams into certain plays. So really good job by them. So really proud of those guys, and a really cool scheme thing that I wanted to show y'all before we got done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love watching defensive clips and defensive execution. So are you counting the wing party?
Yeah, absolutely.
I knew it was coming.
We got 20 to 21 guys doing a wings party on Thursday. So second shutout of the year. I think we're giving up 11.8 per game right now. We got to continue that. We got to continue that effort on defense. Our defense has been obviously a strong piece of what we're doing, and we've got to continue that defensively. We got chances to set some records, and our defense know what those records are. They're right here in front of us, and we got to go continue to do what we're doing execution-wise, defensively, because that's what's really making us go right now. It's giving us great opportunities on offense.
Yeah, huge shout out again to Coach Harvey, Coach Ashby for implementing a great game plan week after week, and then the discipline of our defensive secondary, guys up front, linebackers across the board doing a phenomenal job. So with that, we're going to go ahead and go into a break. When we come back, we're going to discuss the second region game of the season against Rhea County coming up this Friday. Welcome back to the Walker Valley Football Coaches Show. I'm Andy Morris with Jacob Mason and Walker Valley head football coach Drew Akins. It is Rhea County week. Coach Akins back at the MAC this week. Region game number 2 of the season. What can we expect?
Yeah, I'm really excited to be back home. You know, last week I kind of told y'all, man, I kind of need a week off. There's so much, we've done such a good job of planning events on Friday nights, but sometimes that gets a little overwhelming and it's tiring, and sometimes you just want to go play football. So it was nice to have an opportunity to do that, but man, we love playing here. We love the atmosphere at our place. Obviously the MAC has been somewhere this year that we've really kind of changed the look and changed the way we play. But changed the atmosphere as a whole. You know, the band in the end zone, our student section's done an unbelievable job. Let me take a second to praise our student section because they've done awesome this year.
They've traveled well, too.
Showing up, being loud, being engaged. I think they've done a great job. And then the way they love our kids after games is so cool to watch. You know, when we go down in the end zone and we go celebrate, the way they come and celebrate with us has been really cool. So really proud of just our school as a whole and kind of what we do to celebrate each other when we have success. So that's been fun for me, but being back here, being home, but a huge game, you know, region second game of the region. Most important game of the year. That's what we keep saying because it's true. Every single one of these region games, the next game is the most important game. You got to flush the last game. You got to make sure it's gone, and you're prepared for this next game. Our kids have done a great job of turning the page every week, good or bad. They've done a great job of turning the page, and I fully expect them to do that again.
Yeah, Coach. So Rhea County a little different on offense this year. Just kind of talk about that, and then talk about what we expect to see them on defense.
Yeah, they've done a really good job at kind of changing who they are. Wing T for years, obviously. That they've done a great job with the wing T. That makes it so difficult. They got a little different personnel this year that makes them feel more comfortable in the I formation. So they're true old school pro I. Tight end, fullback, and a tailback dot in the I. You don't see it very often. We kind of run that pro set with the tight end, the Y back, and a tailback right behind the Q. But they're it's just an old school pro I look. And listen, they've done some great things. I don't know the health of their running back. If their running back's playing, he's a dynamic kid. He's their all-time leading rusher for school history. I think he's playing in like his 6th or 7th season as a high schooler. Feels like he's been there forever. He started as a freshman, has played forever, and he's their leading rusher as a school for his career. So really good player. They've done a better job of kind of mixing pass into what they're doing. Their fullback is a tough, hard-nosed kid. If you're going to spotlight a lineman, number 50 on the offensive line is a really good lineman. He started for them last year. He's their leader this year. You can see it. I don't know him personally, but you'll see he's the leader of them. He does a great job. So they're going to run toss. They're going to run trap still. They're still going to run the same plays, power, toss, trap. Those are their main plays. They run a little ISO. They have waggle still. So same idea. It's just going to look a little bit different. Defensively, they're a 3-4. They do a little interesting thing, too, on defense. They have like a Tampa dropper. So they have a backer where they normally are, and then they have a backer, linebacker, but he's at like 7 to 8 yards. And his responsibility is they're playing cover 2, so they're playing outside of hashes, and his job is to protect the middle of the field on pass. So he makes sure that he drops middle, which, we attack the middle a lot. And we're running those in cuts. So he makes it way more difficult to attack the middle of the field. We attack the middle of the field pretty consistently. So we're going to have to adjust some things that we do offensively to make sure that we can account for that guy and make sure that we have stuff to adjust to that, because you don't see that very often. So it's something we're having to show Evan a lot. Just because it's so unique. So it's something we've got to work, and we have to make sure as coaches we prepared our guys for that look, because it is quite different than what you're normally going to see.
All right, Coach. So with that, kickoff 7 o'clock here at the MAC Friday night region game against Rhea County. Anything else we got going on, Coach?
Pre-game, we're excited to celebrate Akoe Middle. We're going to celebrate their sports teams. I haven't got the list yet, but we're going to have a list of their athletic teams. We're going to present them as a group, as a team at the beginning. The kids are going to be free, so they need to wear their jersey so we can identify them. But if they're wearing a Coe Middle jersey, both principals have agreed that we're going to let those kids in for free. So we would obviously invite parents to come in and watch that pregame festivities. We'll line them up, and we'll do what we've done kind of at 6:35. We'll celebrate those teams and those athletes, those student athletes, as they finish up their seasons and begin their seasons down at Akoe Middle. So always excited for that.
That's awesome. So you can catch Jacob and myself on Sports 99.1 pregame roughly around 6:30. Kickoff 7 o'clock once again on Sports 99.1. And Coach, let's go beat Rhea County.
We'll give our best shot.
Everyone have a great week.
Fun.